Hello and welcome in. I am back to build my first team in the $500 to $5,000 challenge on Sorare. In the last video, I went through buying all the players, talking through some of my strategy ideas, and we are finally here. The first week of CONCACAF Champions League is upon us, and so we're gonna actually get to put these players into action. I am gonna send out a quick tweet because I'm doing this one as a live stream, just in case anybody wants to hop in, and then we will get into it. So I'm just gonna put this out there that I'm building my 500, 5,000. Team, and that's out there. Okay, so let's get down to it. I have a couple of updates on where I'm at. Let me share my spreadsheet here. Control S. Nope. Shift S. There we go. Okay, let's look here. So I have sold Kaisuke Osako. His price went up almost double in fiat, and I felt like it was time to sell. And I got a little a little tip, it looked like, from a random Twitter account that maybe there is a U23 goalkeeper that people are not aware of right now. So I'll show you the tweet here. This guy is a K-League expert in Sorare. So one thing that I really like to do is follow tons of Twitter accounts that seem to be experts on certain leagues. You can get burned this way for sure. They sometimes are not not quite the experts that you might have thought they were, but this seemed like a legit thing going on here. So he said U23 keeper Lee Guangyan was Gangwon's representative at the new K-League season's opening press conference, accompanied with a picture here. So this seems legit. It would be very weird, I think, to have a second team or a reserve player in your press conference. So it seems like he is going to be the starter, and at which case his price right now, which is, how did we say, what was his name again? Li Guangyang, is probably a bit low. Now, this is a little bit risky here, going from someone Osako, who I think is probably the starter, although definitely not guaranteed to be the starter, to someone that just one random Twitter account says is the starter. But it's a risk I think I'm willing to take, because the U23 team was going to take a while to get into a place that was competitive, even for like a tier 3 type of reward. And so this could allow us the room to have something better than that. Like, this could allow us to have room to, build some legit U23 teams that have a legit shot at winning. So lowest price on the market right now is 154.48. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and buy that up, because I was looking at Sorare data and I think he's sold for higher than that already. And so we'll just get him into the team here, because we don't want to wait on someone. If he does end up starting next week, he probably doubles, triples in value anyway. So it's probably good to just get into it. Yeah, 0.59. He's already 0.059. He's already sold for, and this is 0.053. So this is a very reasonable price here. So we're gonna buy him and keep building out our U23 team. So that means we now have him, and I did end up buying him for 154, it looked like. The next player I'm gonna buy because now we have a little bit of profit from Osako. 110. We have about 118 in profit, but we had 228 to spend. We just spent 154, so we got some money to spend here. Another player I'm gonna buy is Diver Caicedo. I ended up buying Ka, Caio Alexandre from the Vancouver Whitecaps as well. So this would be a nice little U23 stack here, and it looks like he's going to start because Christian Dahome, who he was kind of competing with for a forward spot on Vancouver Whitecaps, he's been playing left back a lot in their preseason. So it seems like they're going Caicedo up top. So he currently lowest price to buy is $48. Let's see what his last sell was like. .0149, and he's selling for .0165. Let's see if anyone's bought him higher than that. I think that his price is just going to keep going up and up. Okay, so like I can't even get him for lower that on an auction, so we're just going to buy him now. So that's $48. Let's get rid of these other two in my sheet. I was just trying to do some planning out, so I have them in there. Okay, so let's see how much we have left to spend here. We have $29 left, and so we have for U23. We have right now Alessandre, Guangyang, Caicedo, and I also still have Ezekiel in my team. He was stacked with Osako, so I'm hoping to sell him pretty soon. His price is right around $30 right now, so I'd make a little tiny profit there as well, and then that would open up my options in U23. Austin FC, it looks like, is going to start a defender U23 stack. Two players. It looks like Zan Komanich is definitely their locked in left back. He is a pretty interesting player. Seems like he's a pretty decent scorer some occasionally. Definitely gets involved in the attack quite a bit. That can be a drawback on Sorare, but he does seem to get some assists in there as an outside back. And then, sometimes he's scoring upper 20s in the all arounds, which is interesting. That's like, that's like a Trent Alexander-Arnold or something, like a very accurate passer from the outside back position. So I think there's potential that his scores could really grow here. I mean, especially if he hits like a 20 all around on a day he has an assist here, like that's going to be a big day, like 80 plus points. So I think he's an interesting punt. He also is, at least in the teams for Slovenia, doesn't look like he's broken to the starting lineup at all yet, but kind of an interesting player to me. So Komanich right now, let's see what his bottom price is. Okay, so we could bid at .068, which would take us over the lowest on the market. So we're going to buy this one as well. And he was $20. So we're going to put him in the sheet. We just bought Komanich. Defender, U23, Global All-Star. Could also play America for 20. Okay, and then so at this point, we're probably not going to have enough left to buy our other guy. Yeah, we have $9 left. So hopefully we sell Ezekiel quite soon. I don't imagine I'm going to have any problems selling Ezekiel. Limiteds are really liquid market, and you can move them on pretty quickly. So I am going to cheat a tiny bit and go ahead and buy Austin FC's center back, Romagna, before I sell Ezekiel, because I imagine I'll sell Ezekiel today and it'll be it'll be the same price, but now I can just do it while I'm here. So we're gonna buy Romagna because that makes a defensive stack with Komanich, which obviously defensive stacks. If the team has a clean sheet, that means each of them get 10 points, and they are both U23, which is pretty rare. Finding a defensive stack in a U23 is not common. So we could do a bid. It looks like his lowest price is $12, which is pretty close to our $9 anyway. So we're just gonna get him. I don't think people think that he's gonna start. I read on a Austin FC blog that he is pretty likely to start, and I think he started their. I think I saw he started their preseason games as well. So it looks like he's going to start, and he's a center back. And I actually expect Austin FC to be slightly better this year. I don't know if their defense is going to be better, but I think that their team all around is going to be better. And so hopefully they'll have more of the ball and less pressure on their defenders, because, they were giving up like 6 goals in games last year at times. But having a stack, no matter what, is favorable, because a clean sheet's just going to happen by accident occasionally, and at that time, on those weeks, then we have both the points for both of those guys, and then Caicedo and Alexandre are going to play in the same weeks, and then we have Guanyan. As long as he's the starter, we have a U23 team as well as a global all-star team now for what started out as $500. So this is something that I personally like to do. Like if a player's price gets kind of wacky, in my opinion, which I think this week it did get a little wacky with Osako. Like, I don't think it's 100% guaranteed that Osako is going to be the starter in Hiroshima. And I bought him at $100 and he was selling for 220. And so, $120 profit there is a little too good to pass up for someone that I'm not 100% sure is going to be the starter. And so why not just trade back into another guy that's only $150, who is also not guaranteed to be the starter, but there is at least buzz that he is going to be the starter. So that's where we're at with U23. U23s will not be available until the start of MLS season, which is in 2 weeks. But we do have a team this week because the CONCACAF Champions League begins. So let's go back in a screen share here, and let's have a look at the team I have to build and decide where I'm going to play. So this, we're going to go into Sorare data and go to SO5 lineup builder. Okay, so this is the team that we built on the last video. It is a New York City FC defensive stack. We've got the goalkeeper and the 2 center backs, Cayens and Chanot. And then we have their creative midfielder, Maxi Morales. And then we have, because we didn't have a ton of money left, we had to take sort of a punt forward. We have Diego Rubio from Colorado, who is a starting forward there. And the best that Colorado has as far as strikers go, that's not great, because Colorado's weakest position by far is strikers. Okay, so this is the team. The only decisions we have to make with this, because we don't have any other players, the only decisions we have to make with this is who to captain, and then where to play it. So the 2 options for where we can play this team this week is we can play it in Global All-Star, or we can play it in Champion America, because all the players play in MLS, which is Champion America. We will get into which of those I think is best after we decide who to captain. So there's really two options here to captain. There's Cayennes and there's Maxi Morales, I think. Obviously, like a Diego Rubio goal game could theoretically be a captain type spot, but even a Diego Rubio goal game doesn't have the same upside that a Maxi Morales like assist game, any sort of decisive game has. And then Cayennes, we would start if if we wanted to play it a bit safer, because New York City FC gets a clean sheet and then he's in the 50 to 60 range. Let's just see what their kind of top scores look like. So Maxi Morales. So let's see, some of his best game weeks, what they look like. So his best game weeks are like 100 points, which is obviously the very best score you can have. We got a 96, we got a 93. And this is in games. Let's just look at this 100-point game. Like, what kind of game was this for New York City FC? So we have a 5-0 win for New York City FC, which makes a lot of sense because Maxi Morales is their main playmaker, essentially. So he probably had, I'm sure we can check, he probably had a goal and an assist or multiple assists. Yeah, so we have a goal and an assist, and then he had a great all-around game where he had some tackles all over the ball and lots of shots, penalty area entries. So this is like New York City dominated this game. It looks like completely destroyed Orlando City. It looks like I had the misfortune of starting Benji Michel in this game is what that little highlight means. But so I actually think that could be the way that this game goes, because New York City FC is playing against Santos de Guapiles, which I think is a Costa Rican team, maybe. And let's just have a peek at the line for this game. Let's go to soccer. North America. Nope. There must be international or something like that. Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana. Huh. Do they not have a CONCACAF Champions League? Let's look. New York City FC. Let's look up CONCACAF Champions League betting lines. I don't want that. Okay. So all of them have New York City as the favorite, it looks like 7-5 there. So that's like what, plus 120 in American odds. So it's not like they're like dominant favorites. I'm actually a little surprised by that. I would have thought that they would be like very, very serious favorites. Obviously, the game is at Santos. Let's see if I can find one in odds that make sense to me that are not. There we go. Okay, so New York City is plus 147, which feels a little short to me, honestly. I would probably bet on New York City FC at that range there. And then I would imagine their clean sheet odds are like plus 150-ish. So it's not like they're like runaway kind of favorites. They probably weren't runaway favorites in that game that I showed you in Orlando either, and they ended up winning 5-0. I expect that they're going to have a lot of the ball here. That's just kind of how they play, and for that reason, I'm going to captain Morales. the fact that also their clean sheet odds probably are not that good also makes me come away from Cayennes too. So we're gonna save this team. We're gonna save it as our all-star limited team for now, and then we'll go look on Sorare itself to have a peek at the rewards and stuff and see what it looks like. If we should play it in America or in Global All Star. So let's just look at the fixtures on this particular game week. So we've got we have UEFA Champions League. It looks like we have CONCACAF Champions League, and then we have Europa League, UEFA Conference League. So some of the best teams in the platform are going to be playing on this game week, which is probably a point against Global All Star. Obviously, we could run into some of these teams. Although, because it's a midweek, I expect a lot of these teams to be played, like your PSG stacks, your Real Madrid stacks are going to be played in Champion Europe, I would imagine. We have some of the good Argentinian teams in here too, but they would obviously still be in America as well. Okay. So we have a lot of teams, or not a lot of teams. We have a decent amount of teams in play for a midweek. It's still a midweek though, so it's much smaller, which definitely makes me lean a little bit towards the Global All-Star route, because the rewards, let's go have a look at what they got in the rewards. Oh yeah, you can't do that here. So let's go have a look at the rewards, the prize pool for this week here. So in Global All-Star, we have a 0.31 ETH giveaway there for the top 3 spots. America is actually slightly higher, which is interesting. Let's look at the star limiteds. Okay, so we have a lot of the best cards on the platform in play here. A lot of these guys are worth, around $1,000. Okay, so that's what it looks like for Global All Star. Obviously, as we get down into here, like MLS Keeper U23, which I would still be pumped to win. U23 Keeper. I mean, these are really good cards. I mean, even if I won someone who's like not worth a ton of money like this, like a Fakir, I could debate replacing like my Rubio with him and then just sell Rubio or something like that, because they score really well, even if I'm not going to be able to sell them for that much. So, okay, so the rewards pool looks good for Global All-Star, and I do expect quite a few people are going to play their best lineups in Challenger and Champion this week. Let's just have a look at what the America star looks like. Okay, so these are some of the best players in America, but their prices are like nowhere near. Oh, and it's a really small pool too, and there's some stinkers in here. Like if you get Walker Zimmerman, I mean, he's a great player, he scores well, but like that's a tough week if you score really well and you get Walker Zimmerman. I would be upset by that. Castellanos is probably on his way out of New York City, and who knows where. It could be good, could be bad. The rest of them look, reasonable for what you're going to get. Mukhtar, I wouldn't be that excited about. So I'm definitely leaning towards playing it in Global All-Star. Let's just get an idea of what it's going to take to get into those star rewards, and if we really believe that we have a chance to do that. Okay, so I'm fairly certain that this is not separated by midweek game week. I would expect this to be slightly lower for a midweek, although still well above 400 points, which means we have to get 80 per player. So let's just think everything goes right. So let's say Sean Johnson gets a clean sheet and a couple of saves. We're going to give him 65 points. Chanot, has quite a few accurate passes, also gets a clean sheet. We're going to go 60, 60. Cayenne, same idea, essentially. Has some good passes, clean sheet. So at that point, we're at 185. And to get to 400, we're going to need 120 more. And so if Maxi Morales has a 100-point game and we captain him, we are right up there. And then Diego Rubio scores a goal for Colorado, who has also a very easy matchup and should be scoring goals in that matchup. I don't think it's unreasonable that we get to 400 points with this team. Now, obviously, a lot would have to go right, but I think the matchups are good enough. I think the players are good enough. They're good enough scorers that we're gonna shoot the moon on this one with Global All-Star. The only temptation about Champion America is that I could get first, second, or third and get some of the ETH rewards there. But number one, I think the rewards in Global All-Star are going to make up for the ETH missed out on if I get a tier 0 and I get the right tier 0 in Global All-Star. And number two, I don't think it's like, even if I score really well, I don't think it's like any guarantee I'm going to get first, second, or third in Champion America, because we've got a lot of good teams playing in Champion America. Like, we're going to be competing against full New York City FC stacks that are like, Johnson, Cayennes, Parks, Maxi Morales, and Castellanos, which is probably going to beat my stack if the New York City FC has a good game week. We could also be competing against some of those Argentinian stacks. So I think that Global All-Star is the way to play, because there's a little more room. Obviously, there's going to be more entries, but there's a little more room at the top there. So for America, so for All-Star, there's 15 star limiteds given out, and it's 16,000 entries. So that is an insanely small percentage. Obviously, I don't think that all of those entries are full. You can look on Twitter. Andy Laird often posts basically like how many lineups are actually viable in Global All-Star, and especially in Limited. There's so many lineups that have someone who's not playing, or like a whole team who's not playing. It's something like 50% of lineups sometimes. And so I would expect that to be the case on this midweek slate. And then in Champion America, okay, so there's only 2,000 entries, 4 star limited. So let's just calculate that out. 4 divided by 2,000. Keeping in mind the star limiteds in Champion America are worth way less. So we have a 0.002% chance, all things being equal, of winning there. And then 15 out of, I think that's going to be 0.001. Yeah. So it is a smaller chance, all things being equal, but I do expect that quite a few people are going to put non-working lineups in All-Star. And typically I've noticed that if people are going to put in a lineup that doesn't actually play, they're going to play it in All-Star. They're not going to click down to one of the more granular leagues. And so America, I would expect most of those 2,000 lineups are going to have 5 players who theoretically could play, whereas All-Star is going to have a lot less. So this team is going in All-Star. So let's go ahead and do that, and then get out of here. And we will sweat this over the weekend and see how we turn out. And then we also have that U23 team that we will soon be able to play when the season starts. So we got Diego Rubio, and then we have Kyans. Okay, awesome. So this is going to go in. Wait, did I just have Kyans captain there? Okay, no, cool. This is going to go in. Fingers crossed for 400 points. We will update next week. I'm just going to throw a U23 lineup for the XP, even though they aren't going to play. Kaio, we're going to try and sell that. We're going to sell the Ezekiel. This Alistair Johnson is someone that I previously had that I'm just getting rid of. He doesn't count for the 500 to 5,000 on Sorare. And then we will captain Caicedo. His for 0 points. Okay, cool. I will see you guys on the next video. I will recap what happens on this midweek slate sometime probably around Friday of this week. And yeah, let's all go root for New York City FC and Diego Rubio to score a goal. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like, please hit subscribe. If you are not on Sorare yet, I also linked in my invite friends link here down below. And if you want to join, please use that. It will give me a limited card. It'll give you a limited card. I'm sure you've heard the spiel now if you're considering coming on Sorare. So please use that if you're going to join anytime soon. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one.